How do you recognize signs of a dog with a respiratory infection? Dogs, just like humans, are susceptible to respiratory infections that can cause discomfort and potentially serious health issues. Recognizing the signs of a respiratory infection in your dog is crucial in order to seek proper veterinary care and ensure a speedy recovery. In this video, we will discuss the common signs and symptoms of a respiratory infection in dogs and how to manage and prevent these infections. Signs and symptoms. 1. Coughing. One of the most common signs of a respiratory infection in dogs is persistent coughing. If your dog's cough is frequent, productive, producing mucus, or worsening over time, it may be indicative of an infection. 2. Sneezing and runny nose. Like humans, dogs may exhibit signs of a runny nose or sneezing when they have a respiratory infection. If your dog constantly has a wet or runny nose and is sneezing more often than usual, it may suggest an infection. 3. Difficulty breathing. Respiratory infections can cause breathing difficulties in dogs. If you notice your dog panting excessively, wheezing, or struggling to catch their breath, it is essential to consult a veterinarian promptly. For lethargy and reduced appetite, dogs with respiratory infections may show a lack of energy or enthusiasm. If your dog appears lethargic, does not want to participate in usual activities, or has a decreased appetite, it may be due to an underlying infection. 5. Fever. Elevated body temperature is a common sign of infection in dogs. If your dog has a fever, often accompanied by shivering or tremors, it is a strong indication that there is an ongoing respiratory infection. Management and treatment. If you suspect that your dog has a respiratory infection, it is crucial to seek veterinary care promptly. A professional diagnosis is necessary to determine the exact cause of the infection and the most appropriate treatment plan. Here are some management and treatment options for respiratory infections in dogs. 1. Antibiotics. In many cases, bacterial infections are the underlying cause of respiratory infections in dogs. In such cases, antibiotics are prescribed by a veterinarian to treat the infection. It is essential to follow the prescribed dosage and complete the full course of medication, even if your dog appears to have recovered. 2. Supportive care. Alongside medication, supportive care is vital for dogs with respiratory infections. This includes providing a comfortable and warm environment for the dog to rest in, ensuring they have access to fresh water, and feeding them a balanced diet to support their immune system. 3. Humidifier. Using a humidifier in the room where your dog spends most of its time can help ease respiratory discomfort. The increase in humidity can help soothe the airways and reduce coughing and irritation. Prevention. While it may not always be possible to prevent respiratory infections in dogs entirely, there are measures that can be taken to minimize the risk. Here are some preventative steps to consider. 1. Vaccination. Keeping your dog's vaccinations up to date is crucial for preventing certain respiratory infections, such as kennel cough. 2. Hygiene practices. Maintaining good hygiene practices, such as regularly cleaning your dog's bedding, toys, and food dishes, can reduce the risk of exposure to germs and infections. 3. Avoid exposure to sick dogs. When taking your dog to parks or other public areas, try to avoid contact with dogs that are exhibiting signs of illness. Respiratory infections can be contagious and spread easily among dogs. For regular veterinary checkups, routine veterinary checkups are essential for early detection and prevention of respiratory infections. Your veterinarian can assess your dog's overall health and provide necessary vaccinations and advice on preventive measures. Conclusion. Recognizing the signs and symptoms of a respiratory infection in your dog is crucial for their well-being. Prompt veterinary care, appropriate management, and preventive measures are essential in ensuring a speedy recovery and reducing the risk of future infections. By being observant and taking necessary precautions, you can help keep your beloved furry friend healthy and happy for years to come.